So I was going through my friend Tad's movies and I thought, man, Tad's got a lot of DVDs that no one's ever heard of. But why not take a break from that and make fun of something people actually like?
Since before recorded time, it had swung through the universe in an elliptical orbit so large that its very existence remained a secret of time and space.
I really hope he's talking about a radiation box that turns basic appliances into psychotic murderers made of entirely different technology.
The citizens of Earth would get an extra Christmas present this year as their planet orbited through the tail of the comet. Scientists predicted a light show of stellar proportions, something not seen on Earth for 65 million years. Indeed, not since the time that the dinosaurs disappeared, virtually overnight.
1. The dinosaurs did not disappear virtually overnight. 2. How would you know what this comet's effect on the sky looked like if it happened 65 million years ago? I have a feeling no one was there.
There were a few who saw this as more than just a coincidence. But most didn't.
3. Rockin' segue, Granny. 4. You are heavily implying that a celestial body not hitting the Earth is what killed the dinosaurs. Stop that.
Also, that is not a comet. The narrator spoke of a tail, but a tail this anomaly lacks. Yes.
That is a really good point. But what's it supposed to be then?
But the universe is full of mysteries, some of which are mysteries even to me.
Gee, I wonder if it could possibly be a moon.
Well, it's probably a moon, don't you think?
It's not actually a moon, Ovidius, you weirdo. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, we now start the movie proper meeting Reggie, a teenager who's dicking around at work on a very busy night.
I want you to take this flashlight and walk the house.
Aw, Mel, they throw things at me.
Are you showing movies at Bob's Country Bunker?
Who cares? Walk the house.
Come on, the house hasn't been outside all day.
Okay. Placing Reg in third place is Reg, third place. Wait a minute. Somebody named DMK in sixth place? When did this happen?
Springs and barrels, lady. How long were you staring at the screen before you realized there was a set of initials that wasn't yours? Also, when did this happen is actually a good question since you're apparently so obsessed with this game you're the only person on the scoreboard. Oh, and of course, who the fuck gets obsessed with fucking Tempest?
This is really annoying.
You're annoying. Go walk the house. And while she does that, we meet Dupree, the skis-ball-selling bootleg prince of the theater's movies.
Look, $100 isn't going to get it this time. Because I'm going to have to spend the night in here waiting for you to bring the print back. Think I'm going to miss this Comet thing for a lousy $100?
So, make your illegal deal tomorrow?
Okay, 110's a little better, yeah.
Guy sure knows how to haggle.
You know, if we spend the night in here, we're gonna miss the Comet.
It's not like you can't see it on television anymore.
Besides, Reggie, banging a movie pirate dressed like a lumberjack in a tiny cramped room at your job is a way better experience than a once-in-a-lifetime cosmic event.
The first Earthlings to see the effects will be in Newfoundland or Newfoundland.
Anyway, Reggie calls her sister Samantha to get her to help in lying to their shitty stepmother.
Tell her that you know all about this field trip that I'm going to take, okay, with my science class. We're going to go to the observatory to watch the comet.
She won't go for it.
She'll go for it. Just tell her, okay?
1. Field trips tend to require parents' permission well in advance. 2. You're in high school? 3. What the fuck are they serving at this comet party?
Yeah, hi, Doris.
What's this about a science class, Regina?
Well, you want me to do better in science, don't you?
I want you home in 5 minutes after you finish work. If you want to watch the comet, you can do it here.
1. If Doris doesn't even like these kids, why is she forcing them to attend her party? 2. Are you really in high school?
Look, Doris, like, I'm 18, okay, and I can watch the comet wherever I want to watch the comet.
No, you're 25. Maybe you should have told her you were spending the night with the math tutor.
What was that?
What the fuck do you think? It's the coming of Gozer in DOS. Fading out of the party, the next day brings an ominous red sky and some really cool shots of a bizarrely empty city. Almost too empty. Like, once you see this single car idling at an intersection, you kind of wonder, where are all the other abandoned cars? We see some abandoned clothing too, so even though we don't know what, we know something happened. But one abandoned car parked for some reason at an intersection? It's just confusing. We eventually come back to what's left of Doris's party, and we realize that everyone watching the comet was, apparently, turned to wisps of red dust. So, really, everyone was disintegrated where they stood, but there were no other cars parked in the streets, no taxis or buses. I mean, what the hell? And yes, this is very important. To me.
God damn it!
What? What?
Well, at least these two, survived.
I've been waiting by that door for the last 30 minutes and that pinhead hasn't brought the film back yet.
Oh, give the guy a break. I mean, people are late sometimes.
Oh, right. You stayed in that projection booth all night for that bootleg deal.
That guy calls. You tell him I'm on my way over and I'm very, 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 very pissed.
Or you could talk your girlfriend into morning sex while you wait on... Never mind, best to storm off in a rage and change your own plans with no communication.
Oh, is that you? Yeah, it's about friggin' time.
Well, good thing he dodged that cosmic disintegration, so he could instantly be killed by a homeless plumber zombie. Anyway, back to setting scores on Tempest. The true crux of any apocalypse. Anyway, after getting herself locked out of the theater because simply unlocking the door would have been stupid, I guess, Reggie tries getting in through the back door, which is also locked. Even though it shouldn't be, because Skeezy unlocked it, so he... Never mind. She's locked out, is the thing, and then she sees that Skeezy's bike is still there. Really? Yeah?
Come here!
Tempting offer, Alley Ghoul. But Reggie beats him up and drives away. Because he fucking sucks. She passes a total 5 cars on her ride, which is just... How is that all the cars in a deceased city? It makes no sense! But ignoring that glaring annoyance, the drive home was actually pretty cool. Again, the empty red city is fun to see, and her face shows that she knows something is massively wrong. It's a bit odd that she doesn't stop to investigate the piles of clothing that you'd think would stand out as concerning, but whatever. Cinematography and atmosphere win this round. When she makes it home, that's when the tension really begins.
Samantha? Doris?
Oh, like anyone ever wants to find Doris.
Samantha? What? God, what are you trying to do? Give me a heart attack?
Movie. I've come to the decision that jump scares are not your thing.
I ran away last night after she slugged me. Left a note and everything. But I didn't have any place to go, so I spent the night in a lawn storage shed. It's pretty gross with the snare all and everything.
You slept in a garden shed because you had nowhere to go? How did you have nowhere to go? A garden shed?
So anyway, since I was still here this morning, I thought, hey, I'll go to pep squad practice and split after.
What? Pep squad? Well, wait, right. Reggie's 18 even though she's 25, so I guess this 19-year-old is, what, fucking 12? Anyway, Reggie rushes outside to show Samantha what's up.
Muffy? Stupid dog.
If you were safe in a shed, why was the dog not safe in a house? And why was it walking around a party on a leash by itself?
I'll show you Doris. Here's Doris. This is all that's left of her, this and dust.
If you passed all that going into the house, why did you call for Doris once you were inside? Also, you might want to grab a Geiger counter before playing around in the mystery death dust.
Look, if you're trying to scare me, you're doing it, okay?
I'm not trying to scare you.
Then stop it.
I'm not doing it!
You're not doing everyone in town is dead? I find that hard to believe, Reginald. But when they hear the DJ pop on, they head to the local radio station to find him because, you know, he doesn't sound like a pile of dust.
Are you sure this is the radio station?
How would you not know? Anyway, they wander around until they find an empty DJ booth.
I mean, somebody has to run this stuff, don't they?
We got trouble, not us. That's the name of the song, and I'm Steve LeBeau, trapped inside your radio.
I'm gonna guess that's a no, Reggie.
Okay, girls, hold it right there. You, the blonde, get into the light.
Eric Estrada did not fuck around in the 80s.
Sweetheart, you haven't seen those freaked out zombies running around here?
Yeah, I was jumped by one.
Well, you got off lucky.
Hey, incoming backstory! I hope there's an unnecessary amount of dramatic pauses.
I was heading to San Diego with this girl I picked up. You were looking for a gas station. That's when we spotted one of those, whatever they are. Looked like it was eating a cat.
A dead cat?
Semi-dead.
You couldn't tell for certain?
This girl freaked out. Took off running.
Startled my glove back onto my hand.
I spotted her about 20 minutes later. Looked like one of those things had...
What?
Torn her apart.
Oh, God. Larry.
Oh, shit.
What's with her?
I don't know, trucker boy, maybe the end of humanity as she knows it? Anyway, after some, we'll call it emotional dialogue, they have this exchange.
Where'd you spend the night last night?
I spent the night in the back of my truck with the girl I picked up. What else do you want to know?
Skip it. Steel's gotta be the answer. If Sam spent the night in the lawn storage shed.
What?
Yeah. What? Being encased in steel is the reason that some of you aren't dust or zombies? So, being in the back of his truck was 100% more protection than sitting in a fucking car?
What?
I got a call. It came in on the hotline.
Hello? Hello?
It went dead.
And the reason that you waited to say that was... Oh, no reason at all? Cool. She also can't remember anything useful the caller said, and their bickering goes out over the airwaves.
They said they were like part of a think tank or research group or something.
Where? Was it in this state?
I forget.
Okay, let's take it real slow. Did they mention a town? Someplace they were near, like maybe Blythe, Bishop?
What about Edwards Air Force? If I knew, I'd tell you. I didn't expect the call, you know. I didn't take notes or something. Just try.
Oh, they got a phone call from an underground science lab somewhere in the desert where the scientists hung up on them and then sat around listening to their conversation on the radio. Of course.
From a psychological standpoint, the radio station represents a link to normalcy. I don't think they'll wander far as long as it's operating.
What? If you're planning to go find them, how about calling them back and telling them?
We don't want to be caught in the city after dark. We'll leave tomorrow. We've had an indication of some survivors in San Bernardino as well. 4, maybe 5.
Wait, girl, just shut up! Samantha! Say anything else. Anything.
Yeah.
Oh. Thought that scene would have an ending, but... Nope. Then, without warning, we get Samantha drinking and speeding through the city in a bitchy mood. She speeds past a couple motorcycle cops and voluntarily pulls over for them. All they did was flash their brights, but she decides to stop for potentially zombified strangers with guns during the end of the world.
I know you guys are probably going to give me a ticket or something, but I am really glad to see...
Well, turning into zombies didn't change cops much. Bullshit! Nightmare fake-outs that don't add to story or character development are just dumb fucking filler reminding us that we don't have to invest in anything we're fucking seeing. She then gets up and goes to a sink somewhere and takes off all of her clothes. Nice and slow. Well, not all of her clothes. Remember, she's supposed to be like 15 or something. Anyway... Die, son of a bitch!
Listen. I have to go to San Diego tomorrow.
Why?
My mom. Some friends. My sister.
But you know they're gone.
I know, but... I still have to find out. I mean, you guys know for sure, but I don't know.
I know you don't know. I don't know. You know?
Look, don't go to San Diego, okay?
I have to.
How about, can we come with you? Or, would you like to come with me?
But I'll be back.
There is literally nothing stopping the girls from going with Trucker Boy. Anyway, Trucker Boy leaves without them, and we just smash right into the next day. Oh, they've got machine guns now. They just do, okay? But when the gun jams, ruining their evil fucking destruction of that beautiful, innocent classic, Samantha teleports to a rooftop to mope.
So, did you make it with him last night?
good humor man. Who do you think?
Jeez, is that what's bugging you?
That's no answer, man.
No, I didn't make it with him last night.
The first time I saw this, I thought they meant make out when they said make it. I had never heard of anyone saying make it as slang for having sex. If you've seen any other movies where they say make it, please comment below so I can also make fun of them for using terrible fake slang.
Why are you so weirded out?
Oh, right, Reg. Why should I be weirded out? My sister, who swiped every guy I ever had my eye on, has now swiped the last guy in the whole freaked out world.
Aren't you listening? She didn't make it with him. Well, that solves that subplot, I guess. Anyway, Trucker Boy shows up at Mom's house. He finds the place empty and quiet, so instead of looking around, he goes to his room to bag up some personal items. Probably should have kept looking for Mom. Time to cock the semi-automatic that isn't the revolver I had earlier. And where the fuck are my gloves? The correct response to seeing any child at the door. Shit! Damn! If only this door had some kind of... Oh, right, it did! Jeez! And evaporating into a dust zombie makes you the strongest 10-year-old ever. Of course, going by this movie's casting, that kid's probably a toddler. And he escapes the kid by getting into his giant vehicle, and never mind, he goes nowhere in particular on foot for some reason. Meanwhile, Dr. Friction is toiling away.
We found survivors.
Yep. That was the whole point of the first lab scene.
I've talked with some of the others, and we decided that it would be more beneficial to conduct the blood tests in the field.
Wouldn't that immediately contaminate their blood samples? Like, wouldn't you need to test their contamination level in a sterile environment?
But it goes straight to the core purpose of our group, which is to survive. You'll grant me that.
The core purpose never included bringing outsiders to the facility.
And he just said they'll be doing the testing not in the facility. So, all good? Well, of course not, because they really did bring survivors to the facility. What the fuck is running this place? Our main girls then ransack the local mall for super fancy clothes instead of anything, like, comfortable, and don't appear to notice if anyone else is watching. But anyone else is watching. And he's apparently a slimy little shit.
Attention, shoppers! I trust you've got credit cards to pay for all that stuff.
This is the 80s. Will you take American Express? Okay, I've got the visa, shit! We do get a fun 80s shootout scene, but eventually Samantha gets caught at gunpoint.
All right, here's the deal. If Bachelorette number 1 isn't out here in half a tick, I'm gonna ice Bachelorette number 2. Got it?
The point I'm making is that I'm a huge dork. Got it? Luckily, Reg has a hostage of her own.
Let her go!
I'm sorry, miss. I can't have you holding one of my people hostage.
Even if you pull the trigger, I can still take him out. And you.
Come on, Willie, she means it.
Come on, Willie. I'm begging you. My very life is at stake.
Miss, you're not getting the point.
You're crazy!
I'm not crazy, I just don't give a fuck.
Snarky comment referencing life motto of current political figure. Anyway, the weirdos chain the girls up in a stockroom that doesn't seem like it should exist.
What do you want? You want us to pay for it? What?
You wouldn't believe what we want from you.
I'm guessing a makeover to look less like Judge Doom took an involuntary trip to Lake Mead. Alas, Zombie Dork is blown away when the scientists arrive, because science is badass, and the girls are rescued.
It's ironic. Of all the great minds of the world, all the great intellects, who should survive?
These couple of dipshit clothing lovers. The irony!
I don't have to see the result of the blood test. I can guess what they say about that one.
You're right. It would be senseless to take her back. Look, I'll stay and take care of it.
Take care of it? You're just gonna kill her? Alone by yourself?
Then if this Hector person shows up, I can run tests on him too.
I knew she wasn't happy about aiding survivors, but I'm starting to get straight up serial killer vibes.
Of course, it would be out of the question to let you remain by yourself. I'll stay here with you.
Ha! They know to keep an eye on her bloodlust. Good. You're fucking dead, dude. And the girls are totally cool with separating, even though there was no on-screen reason given to them for why that would have been necessary, and that's probably because there really isn't one. Hey! Want to see the most comedically loaded conversation ever that's supposed to be heart-wrenching?
What's that?
My death kit.
I'm gonna give you something.
For what?
For your death.
Your skin's been a little irritated.
Yeah, a rash.
It could be a rash, but
we're gonna kill you anyway.
It's one of the main symptoms of...
The Comet? No. See, I always get rashes, like when I have a fight with Doris or I break up with a boyfriend.
Or when the planet is beset with an extinction-level event.
But if I do have that stuff, this will get rid of it, right?
That's one way to look at it.
Just a pinch now.
Ow!
Weird. This allergy medicine feels like a lethal injection.
So you guys are like geniuses, right?
Yeah, I thought so.
Turns out we're of average intelligence. We just have an underground bunker and a ton of sodium pentothal.
We have a couple of geniuses at my school.
Yeah?
Yeah. They're both wimps.
And the worst final words any high schooler could hope for. Hey, budding screenwriters, please don't write death scenes where every line is perfect for heckling. Oh, and by the way, didn't see that coming. Truck Boy then returns dressed as Santa Claus and driving a convertible. So, I guess we can't call him Truck Boy anymore.
Samantha! Hi.
Hi.
Did you happen to see two girls running around here? One's a cheerleader.
I'm not thinking straight.
Luckily, Hector has no adverse reaction to a total stranger pointing a gun at him and saying, "I'm not thinking straight." Stoic motherfucker. So, ready for a plot twist?
They think they can generate a serum.
A serum?
We were exposed. Not a lot, just enough. They left the ventilating ducts wide open, the fans going. Very scientific. Very stupid.
She was the only nice scientist. Even the herrings in this movie are red. All the other scientists wanted to collect survivors for experimentation to save their own asses because the people in charge were so brainless they forgot to seal up their expensive as all hell science lab, which was the entire point of building it. But hey, At least they weren't visited by Pauly Shore in the bottom of the Baldwin barrel.
You know what? She was right. You are cute.
Yeah, she's definitely not thinking straight. She also just killed herself with science liquid. Meanwhile, at Dumbfuck Institute, these two scatterbrained freaks are prepping test subjects.
You know, I can't remember. How much blood were we expected to get from these people?
300 cc's. Yes, that's it.
That can't be right. If we draw 300 cc's a day, they'll expire altogether.
Okay. Then maybe check your fucking notes?
No, I don't think so, now that we've terminated brain functions. I mean, they're brain dead. All they can do now is manufacture blood.
Wow! You horrible nightmare woman!
Well, it's up to the respirators now.
Why don't we prep the children? When we're finished with them, we can start on that girl.
They're so cute. I love working with kids.
Merciful Mithra, was this place staffed by Dr. Giggles?
Where's my sister? I mean, she should be here by now, shouldn't she, even if Hector didn't show up?
Your sister's dead.
What?
I realize this comes as a shock, but she had been exposed, and in 48 hours she would have died anyway.
So we killed her. We didn't have to. It's just fun is all. I get that these guys are dehydrated and stressed out, but is everyone a total cunt?
I'm very sorry about your sister. It's a tragedy. It truly is.
I feel a really big butt coming on.
But no matter how upset you are, breaking an expensive piece of equipment won't solve anything. I mean, striking out at inanimate objects is really quite childish. Even you should be able to realize that.
Dude, why did you hit me, you stupid grieving baby bitch? Be civilized. Outside, Hector pulls up in his convertible, now decked out like a fucking cowboy.
Howdy, partner. How you doing?
Who are you?
Name's Heck. Heck Gomez.
And I'm putting on a folksy down-home character to dupe a total stranger who wouldn't know the difference if and I acted like my own true self.
Hey, you like girls?
Gross.
Look in here.
She's dead.
She ain't dead. See, this lady shot her up with sodium pentothal to make this fella think she was dead.
Well, it's a good thing that guard didn't react at all when a fast-talking cowboy drove up to his apocalypse facility in the middle of the night with a dead girl in the trunk. Also, lucky for our heroes that he bent over so they could attack him. And very lucky that he was apparently the only guard on the premises. That way Hector could rig a dynamite and gasoline car bomb in peace. Yes, he has dynamite. As a cowboy truck driver, he knows exactly where to get dynamite on Christmas. Anyway, Reggie is running around the facility, which is smoking or fuming for some reason, but she's immediately captured, so forget you saw that. Right as the scientists are about to brain death the children, some tiny, girly mystery hands flip the power toggle and the facility shuts down. One switch. The whole place. And while the scientists scramble to figure out what's going on, Reggie pulls her greatest plan yet.
Hey! Get your hands up.
Don't feel bad, gun guy. I didn't see that coming either. Just then, Samantha shows up because she just does, damn it. Then after subduing the crazy bitches, she and Reggie take the kids and book it.
Going up.
Put your hands down, kids. God, don't be so stupid.
Because the power's out. So, the elevators work. And Hector knows exactly where to pick them up, but then decides not to drive away.
Why have we stopped?
Son of a... Don't shoot them, you idiot.
Okay, kids, cover your eyes for Uncle Hector.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that easy target and instead comment on the sudden emergence of a bunch of armed guards.
We can get them.
Hey, we'll be taking
We have to get them.
Look us up for chasing, so we're party down, huh?
Come on.
This is fun.
Right, but they could still kill you. They didn't know about you because Melvin Potter didn't radio in about your suspicious arrival. But they could still murder you and immobilize your dumb car with all their guns, then retake Reggie and the kids. So, probably ought to just leave.
Is that gasoline I smell?
Wait, don't!
Now see, I thought the car bomb was to distract them while you drove away. Not a reason to continue not driving away. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get the fuck away!
Wow. All right, Hector.
What the fuck? Yes, Hector blew up the 4 guys that got in that car, and the 2 dummies in the other car aren't gonna do anything about that. But there could still be more dickheads in this giant ant farm, so why the fuck did you get out of the... All right, so exactly the thing I was saying would happen could happen. Great. Well, that's another layer of trauma for that girl to grow up with in a world without psychologists. Good job, everyone. Now, how about you get the fuck out of there? By the way, I guess when this thing flew by the Earth, it dropped a bunch of shit in the atmosphere, and that's what turned the sky red and dehydrated a bunch of mammals into dust. I mean, I don't know how red shit in the sky would instantly vaporize the organisms on the planet's surface, but that's gotta be what affected the people who were slowly zombifying, right? Anyway, the reason I bring this up is that after they blow up a jeep's worth of scientists, we don't see our heroes escape. We just cut to some time later when the sky is normal and the rain is washing all the red away. So, either the entire subterranean science fair really only had like 20 people in it, and they all died while the kids were escaping, or there's a major chunk of story about our protagonists escaping desperate lab zombies and returning to a safe part of town that the filmmakers just thought wasn't that important. Either way... But apparently they're all perfectly safe and not turning into dust zombies, so that's good.
Hey, you guys are survivors too, huh?
No. And because she's been horny as hell the whole movie, she gets in his car and was most likely never seen again. Wait a second. DMK? That's the monogram of the Tempest guy. What could it mean? Like, for real. What's the point of that? So you may have noticed, this movie is really fucking red. But it's never a hindrance, and honestly, the cinematography is so fucking good, the redness is made beautiful in every shot where it's the focus. Hell, even the non-red stuff is perfectly framed when given a chance. The movie just looks fucking great. Also, if you ignore the fact that these two are way older than 18 and 15, the casting is also just about perfect.
Come on, Willie, she means it.
Well, I said just about. Hell, even Hector has a likable personality, and we all know how much of that he had on Voyager. Or more likely, you don't. Bottom Bottom line, the reason this movie's still a popular sci-fi horror is because it's legitimately enjoyable even with its particular problems. Like, these people built this colossal underground compound in preparation for the potential disaster of this comet's arrival, but some genius idiot left the air ducts open and everyone got exposed. Everyone? But Hector slept in his truck that night and he's fine? So you're telling me his fucking big rig is airtight? Samantha hid in a fucking tool shed. And how was the air contaminated anyway? They don't show us what killed everyone, but I assumed it had something to do with the Coleco glitch in the sky combusting everyone in range. If it left something in the air that turned people into zombies, then why didn't it affect our heroes? They were running around for a week or so before the rain washed the red out of the atmosphere. And if steel protects you completely, sometimes, and not being shielded by steel disintegrates you, then what the heck is causing this shit? We can argue the science cunts got a really slow, diluted dose of whatever was in the air, so their changes took forever, but why did these guys turn into zombies so fucking fast? I just want to understand your apocalypse. And Ovidus was right at the beginning. This thing isn't even a comet. It's just some light orb fucking around the universe. And if you want to get really technical, the titular night is just the very onset of the film, and the story takes place in the days after the celestial event. So really, this should be called The Week or So with Wimpy Zombies During the Dust Apocalypse of the Glowing Thing from Somewhere in Space. But I digress. The biggest problem, really, is when we meet Reggie. She's obsessed with playing Tempest, which is fine if that's the only game there, but the next morning there are 2 other games flanking it. Where the fuck did those come from? And who the fuck plays Tempest when you could play Asteroids and Asteroids Deluxe? Anyway, if you want to watch somebody play through the entirety of Tempest, check out Zeus Daz on YouTube. Dude crushes it in like 47 minutes.
You're a very strange man.
Shut up! This is probably the only Christmas movie I'm ever gonna do, so I hope you enjoyed it. However, it's also a decent movie when you get right down to it, so I gotta get over to Tad's place and find something really bad to make up for this one. See you next year!